In the previous episode, I had two brief sightings of leopards heading down to Skukuza, but it was mostly elephants that kept me entertained. Things were about to change though, because the area around Malelane and Bergendal produced some of the best leopard sightings I've ever had in the Kruger National Park. In fact, there seemed to be predators around each and every corner. Welcome to episode 2 of my Kruger Summer Series, brought to you by Kitted Africa. I left Skukuza before sunrise and made my way south to my next destination, Malelane. Not far from camp, I found the resident clan of spotted hyenas again. Just down the road, there was another roadblock. It was the perfect morning, cool, colorful, and bathed in golden light, with the most beautiful summer soundtrack constantly playing in the background. I've been driving on this incredibly beautiful S23 along the Biamiti River, and I just found a pair of lions down in the sand. When I first saw them, I thought it was a male and a female, and now I see that it's two males. It's funny, I've seen 5 different lions now since I arrived in the park, and every single one has been a male. Once I had crossed the Biamiti Weir, it truly felt like the second leg of my journey had started. I was leaving behind the thickets around Skukuza and entering the hillier terrain around Bergendal and Malelane. It's Saturday the 6th of December and I'm driving south on the S114. I'm just about to get down to James Span along the Mlabane River. And this area down here around Bergendal and Malelane is leopard central. And I've got 3 days at Malelane to hopefully have some great big cat sightings. Who knows, maybe I even find one on the way down to camp. The Mlabane River was actually flowing, attracting one of my favorite birds, special ducks. I reached Malelane around 9 a.m. and found the perfect campsite along the fence line. This was the first time I had ever stayed at Malelane, and I must say, I was very impressed. I know there are some people that don't like it because of the noisy roads and the nearby town just outside the camp, but at least the view over the Crocodile River makes up for it. The camp is small with a very intimate feel, and the lush shady gardens attract plenty of birds. That afternoon, I headed for one of my favorite roads in Kruger, the S118 Mlabane River Road, and luckily for me, it had just been graded. Apparently, I wasn't the only one that was happy about the freshly graded road. An hour into my drive on the S119, I found a spotted hyena and some vultures feeding on a giraffe carcass. Wow, what a great first afternoon here at Malelane. I might go back to that giraffe carcass first thing tomorrow morning with the hope of seeing some more spotted hyenas. It would be so nice to capture some interaction. And with the camp gate opening an hour before the park gate, and Malelane obviously being a little bit closer to the carcass than Bergendal, I might actually be able to be the first vehicle there. I'm just going to make sure that I get up nice and early. Right, I managed to get here first. Let's see whether there's anything interesting at the carcass. Oh, there's hyenas here in the front. They're lying in the road. Let me show you. I can hear more hyenas, so let's see whether any of them are on the carcass itself. I don't know whether you can hear those hyenas. They're giggling in the background, but wow, what an amazing sighting. I'm so glad that I came out early. And I tell you what, if it wasn't for this motion mount, I would not have been able to get stable footage because the light is so low. And as you saw, I zoomed in very close onto that hyena's head. So if this looks like something that you might like, scan the QR code on the screen or check the link that I've added in the video description. I counted at least 12 adult spotted hyenas, and I had them all to myself for another hour. So I am literally surrounded by hyenas. Check this. At 7:30, I finally found what I had been looking for, a leopard. But I would have to wait until that afternoon before I got my dream leopard sighting. Luckily for me, there were more big cats just around the corner. This has just been the most incredible game drive, and I can't tell you how nice it is to be here in summer with everything so lush and green, all the bird sounds, the baby animals. It's just magical. Now, if you guys are thinking of coming to the Kruger National Park with your family, look no further than Kitted Africa. They actually have a new family van that's big enough for families up to 5. If you're thinking of camping, the van is fully equipped with easy pitch tents in different configurations, a large fridge, and everything else you would need in your campsite. And if camping isn't your style, you can still enjoy all the perks by renting the van without the camping gear, but keeping things like the fridge, the picnic setup, and a few unforgettable touches that make a Kruger trip special. With plenty of legroom, comfortable seating, and a high viewing position, long game drive hours turn into relaxed, happy family time. The Kruger National Park is so special, so your rental vehicle should be too. If you want to learn more about the Kitted Africa family van, simply scan the QR code that I've left on the screen or click on the link at the top of the video description. That afternoon, I set off with one goal and one goal only in mind: to find a leopard in a tree. To say that I succeeded would be an understatement. I found the first one, a massive male, in a jackalberry tree right next to the H3 tar road. When he finally jumped out of the tree, I decided to take the scenic route via the S120 and S110 gravel roads back to Malelane, when I spotted another leopard. It was a much smaller female, and she was scanning her surrounding from a perch in a marula tree. I still can't believe what just happened. Feels like I won the lottery. How often do you get to see two leopards in trees that beautifully? I think I can honestly say that that was the best day that I've ever spent in the Kruger National Park. And guess what? Tomorrow morning, we do it all over again. Good morning, everybody. It is 20 to 5 on a dark, drizzly morning, which I think is a good thing if yesterday is anything to go by, because it just means you can do a game drive for so much longer without getting super hot. I think what I'm going to do this morning is try something different. I'm going to drive up the H3 tar road for quite some while, maybe beyond Afzal, and then turn off and come back down along the Biamiti River and the S114. Just something very different to what I've done over the last couple of days. Sticking to the tar paid off quickly as I came across a pride of lions resting in the road. It felt like I had the park all to myself, and it was so nice not to have to worry about traffic jams. And my luck hadn't run out either, because just up the road, I found a playful family of spotted hyenas. Oh man, I can't believe what I've seen this morning. Lions in the road, hyenas in the road. And the best of all about this hyena sighting, I was the only car there, so no disturbing background noises. And I just loved watching the adults play. There's just nothing quite like a stick, is there? I'm driving south on the S114 and I just bumped into Wester Masingi of Shipanza Mananga, and earlier this morning he found 2 leopards on the S119 close to an impala carcass in a jackalberry tree. Now unfortunately for him, the leopards didn't go up, they disappeared into the bush, but he kindly shared a pin with me, so I'm heading there now to see whether or not I get lucky. Thanks to Wester's directions, I found the impala carcass, but it didn't look like the leopards he had seen had actually fed on it. So I sat with the carcass for a little while and there was no sign of the leopards, but then another gentleman pulled up next to me and said, "There's leopards 100 meters back." So I came here and believe it or not, there's another impala carcass also in a jackalberry tree. Both leopards were up. I just had a glimpse of both of them dashing to where the carcass was. But the mother has subsequently come down. She's walking somewhere up ahead where all the other vehicles are, and I'm sitting here waiting for the second leopard to come down. After a long grooming session, the young male finally made his way down the tree, unfortunately not jumping down quite where I'd hoped he would. Back up the road, his mother had now made herself comfortable in the other jackalberry tree, where the first impala carcass still sat untouched. After having seen so much over the past couple of days, I decided to spend the afternoon doing some more bird watching in Malelane and going for a run in Bergendal, before heading to Crocodile Bridge for the final leg of my journey. In the next episode, I meet the most famous bush babies in Kruger, see one of the park's gigantic tuskers, and I keep bumping into big cats around every corner.